G'day cocktail lovers. What I'm going to do today is tell you the essentials that you need to know for milk clarifying cocktails. If you're at all a regular to this channel, you will know I do a lot of clarified cocktails, but this video, not so much about making a particular cocktail, but telling you the basics, just the bare facts, because there's a bit of conflicting information about. So I'm going to tell you the key things you need to know, and possibly as important, things you don't have to worry about. The first thing you want is your drink, and your drink needs to have acid content because you are literally going to curdle the milk. That sounds bad. Curdled milk. We're always told curdled milk is bad. In this context, it's good. I mean, cheese comes from milk curds, so it can be good. So your drink needs to be acidic enough to curdle milk or the other clarifying agent you're using. A lot of cocktails have enough acid content because they have citrus juice in them, and that's great. But even aside from citrus juice, it's worth remembering most wines, including vermouths, are acidic enough to curdle milk, and also cola will curdle milk. You can make a great Cuba Libre with cola and milk. And there's actually, if you go look in my playlist, which will come up at the end of this video, of all my milk clarified cocktails, there's a clarified Cuba Libre in there. The second thing you need is milk or another clarifying agent. It needs to be a liquid that has sufficient fat content. Yes, you can do vegan clarified cocktails. Coconut milk or coconut cream is an easy one and also adds a great flavor, but most nut milks, if they have enough fat content, you want kind of a minimum of 3 to 5% fat content for it to curdle properly. I've successfully used almond milk, I've successfully used coconut milk. Dairy milk's the most common just because it's easy. But even if you're using dairy milk, don't use skim milk because you need that fat content. The third thing you need is a filter. I go a really easy way. I use paper coffee filters and a funnel, and you pour the drink through that. Key point, your filter is not what clarifies the drink. The filter catches the curds and the curds clarify the drink. But you need a filter, either a paper coffee filter or a reusable metal one, or cheesecloth or something similar, but something which will catch the curds and help you clarify the drink. Now I'll give you what I think are the 3 most important tips for clarifying cocktails. First, the ratio of your drink to the milk or the clarifying agent. It should be 4 to 1. That's a good ratio. So if your drink is 4 ounces, it should be 1 ounce of milk. And just keep that ratio up. If you're an adventurous type who is making a big punch, because that's the origin of clarified drinks, big punches, and then just keep that in mind. The ratio of your drink to the clarifying agent should be 4 to 1. The second important tip is add the drink to the milk. Don't add the milk to the drink. That sounds like it wouldn't make that much of a difference, but it does. You get better curd formation if you add the drink to the milk, stir it gently as you do it. That's actually important. The final tip for a really good quality clarified cocktail is to run it through more than once. You don't necessarily have to run the entire drink through more than once, but you'll notice when you first pour it through, it flows through quite quickly because the curds haven't settled and the drink will be cloudy as it goes through. Once the curds settle, the rate at which the drink goes through will slow down, and then you tip that back through and it will come through clear. Or alternatively, let the entire thing run through and then run it through again. But to get the best, clearest, clarified drink, you need to run it through more than once. Now for 2 big things you don't have to do. And I see this recommended on websites occasionally, and I've done experimentation. These are things you definitely do not have to do. Sometimes you'll see instructions that say to heat or even boil the milk. This is not necessary and can actually work against you. And it's fiddly and a waste of time. Don't do it, is my suggestion. I've done the tests, I've done the comparisons. Milk or the other clarifying agents straight from the fridge is fine and will give you the best result. The second thing you might see in instructions is to, after you add your drink to the milk, to leave it for 12 or even 24 hours. I've done the test. This is not necessary. It does not give an improved result. If you've got the acid content in your drink right, the milk will curdle almost instantly. At most, you need to leave it sit for 10 or 15 minutes and then run it through your filter twice. But I've done the comparison of leaving it for 15 minutes and leaving it for 12 hours, and there was no noticeable difference. So you don't have to wait that long. You'll see instructions that tell you to do it. It isn't necessary. Those are the big things you need to know. I'll give you a couple of bonus tips. One, and this is a big one, make your drink that you're clarifying something that has bold flavors, often bolder than you would normally drink. Old school milk punchers regularly had tea or coffee in them, or really strong herbs, cloves, things like that. And you might think, I don't like that in a drink. But when you include that in the mix in the drink, when it's clarified, all the harsh edges are taken off and you get the flavors without the harsher aspects of those ingredients. So if you want my optional top tip, bold flavors. Make a clarified cocktail with bold flavors. My second optional tip is be patient. I said you don't have to wait for 12 hours, and you don't, but the clarifying process can take a long time. And by a long time, I mean it can take multiple hours. I've learned different ingredients. I don't know what's going on, but some of them will make a drink that goes through the curds much slower. The process of putting a drink through the curds and clarifying it can easily vary from half an hour to 2 hours. So you don't have to wait 12 hours, but when you're doing the clarifying, you need to be patient. If you try and hurry along, you'll screw it up. I speak from experience, I've screwed it up multiple times. So take it from me, just be patient. Give yourself a couple of hours. I guess I should round off by just saying, why would you even do it? Why would you do a clarification of a cocktail or a punch? The two big things, it creates a really interesting taste and it creates an interesting texture, because particularly when you use dairy milk, it separates into curds and whey, and the whey gets added to the drink, so the drink is a little bit more viscous. It's a very interesting mouthfeel, as they say. In fact, I'll throw in a third one. It looks cool. This drink was an opaque dark brown, almost black, before I clarified it. Now it's much lighter and it's really clear. And also, you add it to clear ice. If you don't know how to make clear ice, again, at the end of this video will be a link to my tutorial on the easiest way to make clear ice. You make the sexiest drinks when you clarify them and put them on clear ice, impress your friends, or just enjoy the experience of having the drink yourself. I think it's really worth it. If you've never tried it, please go ahead and try it. I've got a bunch of recipes. There's a playlist of clarified cocktails on my channel. Check them out, and I'd love to hear what works for you, or just sound me out with any questions. But either way, I hope that you're taking care. I hope you're looking after yourself. Look after people around you as well. And until I see you again, I will say cheers.